Welcome to the Virginia Civics and Economics Lecture Series. At the end of each slide, there will be a 5-second delay. Use this time to complete your notes. When you are done, push play and move on to the next slide. This presentation will begin in 5 seconds. Welcome to Virginia Civics and Economics Lecture 2.1 on political parties, and let's get this party started right now. No. Bad pun, and not that type of party. We're talking about political parties. You know, Democrats and Republicans. And if you really know political parties, you know we also have the Green Party and the Libertarian Party. And you're going to learn that they're here to do one thing, to get this politician elected. Elect me. But why do we really have political parties? And how do political parties function? Well, today we're going to answer those two questions, and with that said, let's go to the next slide. Despite what George Washington warned us about all those years ago, political parties are a necessary component of the American political system. And there are 4 functions of political parties: recruiting and nominating candidates, educating the electorate, that would be the voters, about campaign issues, helping candidates win election, and monitoring the actions of political office holders. We want our politicians staying on message. We got you here based on a message. Now we want you to keep talking about it and voting for what we believed in. So let's start with recruiting candidates. National political parties, that would be the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee, nominate and support candidates running for federal office. That would be the president, senators in the United States Senate, and members of the House of Representatives, congressmen and congresswomen. Whereas state and local political parties nominate and support state and local candidates. People like the governor, the attorney general, members of the General Assembly, and in some cases, mayors and council people. So as you can imagine, the issues at the national level being brought forth by national political parties are often not the same issues being brought forth by state and local political parties. Also, candidates, those are the people who actually run for office, are recruited from multiple sources, including party members, business leaders, and popular elected and/or appointed government officials. But we also have self-appointed candidates. They are not traditionally recruited by a party, but they instead run for political office under the umbrella of the political party. Here is Donald Trump. Donald Trump funded his own campaign and was not recruited by party leaders. Go to the next slide. Next, we need to talk about nominating candidates. How do we figure out who will represent each political party during the general election? Political parties hold primaries. This is for all political positions in which the electorate votes to determine who will run for office. This is not the general election where we're going to figure out who will be our congressman or congresswoman. Instead, this is an election before the election. It happens within each party. We might have 4 people in the Republican Party and 4 people in the Democratic Party who all want to run to see who will be that congressperson, and these political parties hold their own elections to figure out who will actually represent the party during the general election. But it gets interesting. Some states hold open primaries where any eligible voter can vote. Vote today, Virginia. As a Virginia voter, I can walk into a primary. I have to select either the Republican or the Democratic primary, and I have a right to vote in that primary. I do not have to be a member of the political party in the primary that I am voting for. Other states hold closed primaries, where only voters registered with a party may vote, and then they must vote for the party ticket. Only candidates from their own party when they vote in the general election. Their registration looks like this. Do you want to register with a political party? If you check yes and you pick a party, you've earned the right to vote in that party's primary. But when it comes to the general election, you're voting for the candidate from your party. It's a little bit more, though, when we come to the presidency. Political parties hold conventions for the presidency of the United States of America, in which delegates, that's determined from the primaries, these are people who represent people in states, vote on who will run as the candidate. What does this look like? It looks very strange to most people. Political parties set their own rules for determining how the convention works and who gets to vote. And not all delegates represent the voters. Some attendees who have a vote are party leaders and they're known as super delegates. They just get to vote because they are leaders in the political party. When you think that's unfair, remember this one thing. It's their party and they can run it any way they want. Go to the next slide. The whole point of having a political party is to get your person elected. And in order to do that, we need to educate the electorate. We need to get the voters understanding the issues so that they can make a choice come election time. Political parties help shape a national, state, or local candidacy on a variety of issues. We call that the party platform. These are all the things that we believe as a political party, and if our person becomes your representative, this is the type of stuff that we will go for in government. Political parties also set up and sponsor debates and town hall meetings to provide candidates with an opportunity to set forth their position on political issues. When you see a debate on television, it's not just the candidates setting up that debate. Those debates are set up by political parties. Political parties further use the television, print, radio, and the internet to set forth their positions on particular issues. This is George Stephanopoulos. He's famous for having political candidates come onto his Sunday news show and tell everybody their position on a variety of issues. Finally, political parties run ads against the opposing party's position and or their candidates. I just came here for the political attack ads. Attack ads. They annoy people a lot, but they are yet another way for political parties to educate the voters. Go to the next slide. If the whole point is to get your person elected, well then we've got to help that candidate win the election. We do it in the following ways. Political parties engage in fundraising to support a candidate's campaign as money is needed to pay for a lot of stuff. Show me the money. What are we paying for? Office space and a staff, campaign rallies and events, television, radio, print, and internet media advertising, and travel expenses, as well as other related expenses. Politicians spend a lot of time fundraising. Ask any politician and they will tell you that they feel they spend too much time trying to raise money for their next election. Also, parties give their support or endorsement for a candidate. It's important if you're going to run for a political party that the party actually likes you and tells everybody you're the person they support. Finally, national parties will sometimes support state and or local party candidates when the national party believes that the state and or local election will impact the party nationally. For example, here's Barack Obama. President Obama was supporting Illinois Governor Pat Quinn during Pat Quinn's re-election campaign. President Obama was a Democrat. Pat Quinn was a Democrat. Illinois is a huge state with Chicago. It was very important to the Democratic Party for Pat Quinn to be governor of Illinois, so Barack Obama himself, the president, went and supported this candidate. Go to the next slide. So here's the thing. If political parties are going to spend all this time and money getting somebody elected to office, they're going to monitor the actions of the office holder. Here's how that's done. Political parties work with office holders to maintain the message of the party. Again, I'm not nagging Leroy. I'm staying on message. Staying on message is very important because the political party has a lot of different things it's trying to get done, and it needs to make sure that all of its elected officials are moving in the same direction. Also, the parties influence office holders to take specific actions in line with party goals by continuing to endorse candidates who support the party platform and continuing to assist candidates with fundraising and educating the public about the issues. In other words, keep calm and toe the party line. But here's the thing. Sometimes people don't want to toe the party line, and we get parties within parties like the Tea Party or Blue Dog Democrats. Changes in political parties do not come from the top. Remember those self appointed candidates? They're going to change political parties internally. That's it for this lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in class.